It's Christmas! The year is coming to a close. Time for another channel update. Welcome to the Soft Skill channel. My name is Sebastian Jung and I welcome you to the final channel update of this year. I wish a happy Christmas to everybody who wants one, and to everybody else I wish happy holidays. We are already in Christmas spirit here. The lion is totally in Christmas spirit. I have some Christmas cookies at the ready and I tried to dress for the occasion. However, since I also made a video about business attire, I would like to point out that this combination of shirt and tie should never be worn except for fun, and that this is not an appropriate way to wear a tie. And if your shirt is this aged and ragged, you probably shouldn't wear it in public anymore, but I didn't have another one in that color. Christmas isn't that important for my girlfriend and myself. We do celebrate a bit. We have the cookies, we have this nice Christmas calendar where we put in small sweets for each day up to Christmas. But there is no big celebration that we do. We sometimes have a tree, not this year though. And we don't give presents to each other. Our birthdays are in October and November, and we can't think up 2 nice presents in such a short time. By the way, as opposed to the United States, and I think Britain as well, in Germany, if you do a celebration, it is usually on Christmas Eve, on December 24th, not on December 25th. So if there are children around, the day where you get your presents is Christmas Eve, not the first day, not December 25th. What else? Yeah, I guess it's time to continue to the actual channel update. First, of course, we have the review. We had the video about minimalism, which was a request from a viewer of the German channel. It was quite an interesting topic with a lot of interesting facets, and I think we will explore a lot of those further in the future. After that, we continued our series on Schulz von Thun with 2 videos about his communication styles. A general one and one that focuses on personal development. This is one of Schulz von Thun's bigger, more well-known models, one that he dedicated an entire book to. However, it is not as well known as his 4 sides model, his communication square. Usually, if you encounter Schulz von Thun anywhere, the first thing you learn about is the communication square. So I'm quite happy to present to you also his styles of communication. This was quite a taxing video to make. You can imagine you are writing the script and planning, and then you notice, oh well, this is style number 2 out of 8. This gets a bit tiring, but it was quite an interesting topic and I think the video turned out very nicely. Then finally we had another, book review isn't exactly the right word, because the book we had decided on was a German book where no English translation is available, so I tried to turn the English video into a more general one with less focus on the book, even though of course it still is the video's main source. It was nonetheless quite a fun video. The book was rather funny, well written, and the video turned out rather funny as well. And it's also quite an interesting topic, and one that helped to emphasize the channel's character. It was a video about the way we view our work, and the book I used, Feierabend by Volker Kietz, took quite a different direction here than, let's say, the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People or the Why Cafe or Eat That Frog that I all reviewed before. And this is rather important for me because here I want to present to you the whole perspective, the full range of possibilities and ideas and opinions, and not just the one direction I personally think is best or most useful. So, what is to come in the next couple of weeks? What are the first videos of the new year? The next video will be released on New Year's Day. And of course, when the new year is upon us, a lot of people make New Year's resolutions that are usually rather difficult to keep. So I wanted to present a topic that might be a bit helpful there. And so on New Year's Day, I will present to you how I plan for my next day, my personal method. I hope that it is maybe helpful to you in keeping up with your New Year's resolutions. After that, we will continue our Schulz von Thun series, and this time I will present to you in some more detail his vicious circles. You might already know the vicious circle from my video about communication styles, because there we used them as they are to some extent self-explanatory. However, I would like to present to you some more details, because the vicious circle are quite an interesting and helpful model, and so I thought they deserve their own video. And after that, of course, there will be another book review. And this time I will present to you Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl. We weren't quite sure if this is a good book to have for our first book review in the new year, because it's not such a happy book. Because in here Viktor Frankl describes his experiences in a concentration camp during World War II. However, it is a very important book, a fundamental book that a lot of other authors refer to. Viktor Frankl also is the founder of logotherapy, of his own school in psychology, and so I think it is a good book to have for our first book review in the new year. I ended up with both the English and the German edition. Basically, this was a mistake because it took me some time to figure out that a guy called Viktor Frankl, living in Austria, probably wrote the German edition first, though the German version is the original, the English edition is the translation. However, this ended up being a lucky incident, because as it turns out, these editions aren't exactly identical. They have a first part where Viktor Frankl describes his experiences in the concentration camp, and this first part is exactly identical in both editions. However, the second part is entirely different in the German and the English version, and we will have a look at that in the book review. And after that, there will be the next channel update. We return to our usual 3 weeks cycle after we had a couple of 4-week cycles in the past couple of months. As I told you before, the channel update was moving too close to the beginning of the month, so we had to do some 4-week cycles to counterbalance that. But now we will return to our usual 3-week cycle with 3 videos followed by a channel update. So, what else is new? We've got a new channel trailer. Up to now, we used our channel update June for that, because in the channel update June, our very first channel update, we talked a bit about the channel and the topic and why soft skills and what kind of videos we would like to present here. So it was quite fitting to be used as channel trailer. However, by now, this update June is rather old, and it is also a bit long to be the channel trailer. It was more than 10 minutes, so we created a video specifically to be our channel trailer, which is a short clip of about 2 minutes. I will put the link to this video in the video description, because as a returning subscriber it won't be displayed to you on the channel page, but you can have a look at it using the link in the description. The year is coming to a close. It has been 7 months now since this first channel update, the channel update June. And again, I would like to thank all of you for being here, for watching our videos, for being a part of this channel. It is still a very young channel and a very small channel, so we appreciate each individual visitor and viewer. And of course, thanks a lot for each like, for each comment, for each subscription, and for each time you shared a video or recommended our channel to someone else. We greatly appreciate that, and we notice that. As you know, I respond to each comment, and I also see if there are new likes, even for older videos. And I also notice in the channel analytics a small spike where a video gets more views in a short time frame, and there I know, alright, someone probably shared this video using maybe Facebook or WhatsApp or what else, and we are always very happy and very grateful about that. So of course, always feel free to share our videos, to recommend the channel to other people. We are quite happy about that. And also feel free to let me know in the comments which topics you would like to see in future videos, what you are especially interested in, and I will try to provide a video for that in the future. As you know, sometimes it might take some time, such as for the topic of procrastination that was requested quite early but took a lot of time. Sometimes I'm rather quick, such as for minimalism, where I provided the video couple of weeks after the request, but I take note of all your wishes, and sooner or later I try to fulfill them. You might wonder why I am doing videos. I mentioned in the past that soft skills are a favorite topic of myself and that I am very interested in that and like to share some of the topics I deal with you. However, I could also write a blog or produce a podcast or create a website with a lot of information about soft skills. Why am I using videos? This goes back a couple of years to when I still was a consultant in software testing in IT. And as you know, in IT, there are new topics, new ideas, new technologies, new trends very, very frequently. So, it isn't that easy to keep up with all of that. And back then I was wondering, how can I present information about new trends quickly and conveniently? I wanted all those different consultants to be able to say, all right, this new trend, I know the name, I have a basic understanding, and if there is information about it somewhere, I will be able to get into it easily and understand everything. And I thought about different options, different approaches, and in the end, I tried to use a video. And what I appreciate a lot about videos is you know what you get. I can say to you, listen, I have a video. It's, I think, about 30 minutes long. And there you get a basic understanding of how to create a healthy and ergonomic workstation for yourself. And this is something you don't have for articles or blog posts or books. And I think this is really, really useful. And of course, since it is electronic medium, it scales easily. You can show the same video to one person or to 1,000 people. It doesn't make any difference for the video. And you can view a video today or a year from now, and it works just as well. And also when dealing with videos and creating videos, I noticed it's a lot of fun. I enjoy doing the cutting and trying out different ideas and playing around with different variations. And I also don't mind being in front of the camera and speaking to the camera. I've also done speeches before, held workshops, been a moderator, so this isn't entirely new to me, and I kind of enjoy it. So videos ended up being my favorite medium, my favorite tool to convey information. And thus, when I wanted to do something in regard to soft skills, I ended up starting a YouTube channel. After the video, I will show you a short clip that I made a couple of years ago for a company Christmas party, where I tried to take some figures I had drawn and Camtasia, which is the tool I use to cut my videos, and I tried to make a simple animation. I hope you will enjoy it. We will see each other next week on New Year's Day with my video about how I plan for my next day. For today, I take my leave. Have a nice day, have nice holidays, and have a great start into the new year. See you next time.
Hee hee. Hey.
Woo-hoo! Whee!